Liars and mathematicians. Wanted to talk about liars. How can a person lie about God? Especially someone like a mathematician. Mathematics does not lie. Mathematics tells the truth. Mathematics don't lie. 2 plus 2 equals 4. You can say that you don't believe that 2 plus 2 equals 4. But the facts are 2 plus 2 equals 4. And that's the beauty of mathematics. Mathematics don't lie, but mathematicians do lie. I used to wonder, how can a mathematician lie? It just boggles my mind. I don't know why any human would want to lie about, especially about God. It's bizarre. It doesn't make any sense. So, I ended up coming across a mathematician. And what had happened is I was, running at the time. And I liked hiking this mountain. It's called Rattlesnake Ridge. And it's a really neat trail. I hiked that thing just so many times, hundreds and hundreds of times in my life. And sometimes I run it, just to see how fast I can make it to the top and make it back down. It's a pretty good little trail. So this one day I was out, and it was a nice day, and decided to go for a run up Rattlesnake Ridge. And as I'm running up the mountain, I could see ahead, a couple of people, about 3 people, and they were coming down. And I look, and this man, he was an older guy, had a beard. The beard was gray, getting a little bit gray, and he was with 2 girls. It looked like maybe his wife and his daughter, something like that. 2 women. And I looked at his shirt, and he was wearing a t-shirt, and it had all these mathematical symbols on his shirt. And at the bottom of this mathematical equation, it said, "Let there be light." And I started laughing because, I thought he was mocking the evolutionist. It was like a great way to mock the evolutionist. It was just funny. I just started laughing. Man, he was instantly angry. He said, "What's so funny?" And I'm still running, kind of a jog kind of a thing towards him. And I just said, "Well, the joke is obvious." And he's like, "What joke?" And I realized this guy's serious. And I just kept going. He's like, I didn't want to get tangled up in that war, that little argument. So I just kept on running. So I ran all the way to the top of the mountain, And I looked around for about, 10 seconds, and I turned around and I started coming back down. And I figured I'd never see this guy again, I mean, he was getting close to the bottom, when I'd met him, and so I figured I'm never going to see him again, and I was happy about it. But I'm getting closer and closer to the bottom, and I'm looking ahead, and I see, oh, there's that guy. And he keeps turning around. He must have been hearing my footsteps coming up behind him, and I'm running down the hill. And he stops me, and I was like, all right, fine. So he said, "Have you ever heard of so-and-so's mathematical equations?" And I was like, "Well, no." And he said, "Well, what's so funny about it then? Why are you laughing about it?" And I said, "Well, the joke is obvious to me. It's just kind of funny." He's like, "Why? Why is it funny?" And I said, "Well, let's just look at your shirt. I mean, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that that particular equation that is written on your shirt is an accurate representation of light. It is. It is an accurate It is an accurate. And I'm like, okay, I haven't done the math on it. I just totally trust you, man. I'm sure it is an accurate representation, of light. And he's like, so? And I said, well, just try an experiment. Just do a simple little experiment. He said, why don't you go home, or find someplace really dark, maybe a bathroom or a basement. If you have a basement in your house, or wait until it gets dark outside. And just stand somewhere really, really dark outside. He said, then put your shirt on. Now, your mathematical equation at the bottom says let there be light. And I'm willing to bet you 25 cents that it's still going to be dark, even though you put that shirt on. He's like, he didn't know how to answer that. Because it's true. I mean, mathematics is just a beautiful, awesome thing. But mathematicians, some, not all mathematicians, but some mathematicians, they go so far out of their way to lie about everything. Even something that is a fact. It's just 2 + 2 = 4, How do you come to a conclusion that 2 + 2 = 10? And the answer to that question is pretty obvious. It's called arrogance. The arrogance of people who have this delusion that they are somehow equal to God. Just pure arrogance. You can have the facts and lie, no matter how clear the facts are. If you've set your heart against God, well, you'll do anything to lie. So, it's just a funny story, that's all.